The airline you booked already decided how your day ends, and it decided before you ever scanned your boarding pass. Gate B14, Dallas. A Tuesday in February, 6:42 in the morning. You paid $178 because it was the cheapest fare on the page. The board says on time. The airplane is not there. Most people stare at that board. Watch the ramp instead. The inbound tail number is still parked in Denver, and it has been for 2 hours. Nobody has picked up the podium phone in 12 minutes. There is no relief crew standing near the jet bridge, which means nobody was ever staged for this rotation in the first place. The lavatory truck has not moved off the next stand. Nobody was preparing to turn this aircraft around. The board is lying, and everything around it is telling the truth. It cancels at 8:15. The rebooking is Thursday. Your $178 fare just became a $340 hotel and 2 lost workdays. Here is what you were told. Sort by price. They're all the same once the doors close. An airline is an airline. You have to remember hearing it. You never actually tested it, and every booking page confirms it by showing you exactly 2 numbers, the fare and the flight time. That is not knowledge. That is confident guessing. And those 2 numbers happen to be the 2 that predict your day the least. The search engines are not going to fix this. Google Flights, Kayak, Expedia, they get paid when you click buy, not when you land. Completion factor, misconnect rates, spare aircraft on the ground. None of it sells tickets, so none of it appears. Meanwhile, corporate travel departments quietly pay $8 to $30 per booking per traveler to have somebody read that exact data on their behalf. The average disrupted trip costs a regular traveler 4.5 hours, plus the fare difference they thought they were saving. There is one number, free, published every month by the Department of Transportation. It predicts your trip better than price, better than the aircraft, better than any review you have ever read. It is not on-time performance. On-time performance is the number airlines want you looking at, because it is the number they can most easily manage. The number underneath tells you something else, whether there is any slack in the machine at all. And slack is the only thing that saves you when something breaks. I spent 19 years inside airline operations before I ever posted a video. My first year, 23 years old, a dispatcher trainee on the overnight desk, there was a shift supervisor named Ray Delgado. Ray said the same thing every night to anyone who would listen. Anyone can fly an airline in good weather. Show me what they do at 4 in the morning in an ice storm with 1 spare bird. That is not in a manual. It got handed to me across a desk at 4 a.m., the way it had been handed to him. So in the next 12 minutes, I am ranking all 10 major US carriers, worst to best, using 4 public numbers you can pull up yourself in about 90 seconds. And by the time we reach number 1, you will see that the airline everyone complains about loudest is not the worst one. The airline everyone calls the safe premium choice is quietly the one most likely to strand you. Let me tell you what actually decides your trip, because it is not the thing you've been trained to look at. On-time performance is a lagging number, and worse, it is a gameable one. Airlines pad block times. They schedule a 2-hour flight as a 2-hour and 40-minute flight, land 20 minutes late, and call it on time. Your flight is slower than it was in 2005, and the statistic says it improved. 4 numbers actually matter. All 4 are public. All 4 are free. Completion factor. What percentage of scheduled flights actually flew? Involuntary denied boarding and misconnect rates. What happens to you after the first flight breaks? Mishandled bags per 100 passengers. A clean proxy for how deep the ground staffing runs. And fleet commonality with spare aircraft ratio. How fast they can put a different airplane at your gate. An airline is not a brand. It is a machine with slack in it. So, here is how I rank them. 10 carriers. Frontier, Spirit, Allegiant, JetBlue, American, United, Southwest, Hawaiian, Alaska, Delta. Completion factor carries 40% of the score. Baggage and denied boarding, 25. Recovery speed, spares, hub redundancy, another 25. Complaints per 100,000 passengers, the last 10. Rolling 12 months of Department of Transportation and Bureau of Transportation statistics data. Legroom is not scored. Snacks are not scored. Seat pitch is not scored. Those are the things you notice. They are not the things that cost you money. Number 10. Frontier. Lowest completion factor of the group. The ultra-low-cost model runs each aircraft 12 hours a day or more, with almost nothing sitting spare. One mechanical issue in the morning takes down every flight that airplane was supposed to fly for the rest of the day. And because they run point-to-point with no real hub, there is nowhere to rebook you into. The fare is real, so is the risk. That is a bet, not a bargain. Number 9. Spirit. Slightly better, and the reason is boring. They fly one manufacturer, all Airbus, which means swapping an aircraft is at least possible. What undercuts them is money. Financial pressure shows up as deferred maintenance and thinner reserve crews, and their denied boarding rate sits near the top of the industry. Number 8. Allegiant. Allegiant flies routes nobody else flies. That sounds charming until they cancel. There is no rebooking because there is no competitor on that route and no second flight. Some of these routes run twice a week. A cancellation is not a delay. It is a different vacation. Number 7. JetBlue. And this is the placement that surprises people. The product is good. The operation is not. They are concentrated in the most congested airspace in the country. Kennedy, Boston, Fort Lauderdale. And Northeast weather is not bad luck for them. It is a permanent structural exposure. Their completion factor lives in the bottom third, while their marketing lives in the top third. Number 6. American. The network is genuinely valuable. When something breaks, American has more places to put you than almost anyone. What drags them down is inconsistency. The gap between their best hubs and their worst is the widest in the industry. Dallas and Charlotte run beautifully. Philadelphia and Chicago do not. American is not one airline, it is 4. Your hub decides which one you bought a ticket on. Number 5. United. They have spent real money on operational recovery since 2022, and it shows. Where they remain exposed is Newark, a slot-constrained airport with chronic air traffic control staffing shortfalls that no airline can fix from the inside. Their international recovery is strong. Domestic misconnect handling still lags. Number 4. Southwest. In normal conditions, they post the highest completion factor of any large domestic carrier. One fleet type, the 737, which means an aircraft swap is always on the table. And I want to be precise about the December 2022 meltdown because most people learned the wrong lesson from it. That was a crew scheduling software failure, not an operating failure. The distinction matters. The rebuilt system has held since. Their real weakness is different. No interline agreements. When Southwest cancels, Southwest can only rebook you onto Southwest. Number 3. Hawaiian. Best completion factor in the entire industry, month after month. Here is the honest asterisk. Short routes, predictable weather, no winter operations. The number is earned as much by geography as by management, and it does not transfer to anywhere else. Number 2. Alaska. This is the operator's airline. Best baggage performance in the country. Deep spare aircraft ratio relative to fleet size. And the thing almost nobody talks about, the highest ground staff retention of any U.S. carrier. Retention predicts baggage numbers better than any technology investment ever made. Alaska staffs for the bad day, not the average day. Number 1. Delta. Completion factor above 99% in most months, which sounds impossible until you understand where it comes from. 3 structural reasons. They own an oil refinery, Trainer, Pennsylvania. Nobody else does. A fuel disruption does not move their schedule. They own their maintenance arm, Delta TechOps is the third largest maintenance operation in the world. They overhaul other airlines' engines. They do not wait in line for parts. And they hold the highest spare aircraft ratio in the industry. Airplanes sitting on the ground, earning nothing, doing nothing, until the morning they save 4,000 passengers. Delta is not number one because of service. Delta is number one because they pay every single day for redundancy that does nothing on a good day. Now go back to what I promised you. The airline people complain about loudest is not the worst one, and the premium, safe, reasonable choice, JetBlue, sits near the bottom. Complaints do not track performance. Complaints track the gap between what you expected and what you got. You complain about JetBlue because you expected better. You do not complain about Spirit because you already knew. Which brings us to the real thing. You are buying a seat. You are buying a company's willingness to keep expensive things in reserve that earn nothing on a good day. That is what Ray meant. Anyone can fly in good weather. So here is the 90-second check before you book. Pull the completion factor for that carrier. Confirm whether your origin or destination is a hub for them. Then count how many other flights that airline operates on your route that same day. 3 flights a day means you have options. 1 flight a day means you have a hope. That is the whole method. It fits on an index card. The booking page will show you 2 numbers. Neither of them tells you whether you get home. Nobody is going to run that 90-second check for you. Do it yourself before you click buy. Subscribe, because next week I'm breaking down the 4 hours before departure. What to watch on the ramp, what to say to the agent, and when. Who to call instead of standing in the line at the podium. The board still says on time, and the airplane is not there. That is the moment most people lose the day. You do not have to. Tell me in the comments, which airline stranded you? And looking back, did you see it coming? I read every one.